Hello! So I've put together a little video for you which hopefully is going to help alleviate any tightness that you might have in the lower back. So we're going to find some nice mobility through the hips and the spine and work a little bit stretching out those hamstrings and the glutes as well. So we're going to come down onto our back to start off with. Just make your way down onto your back. Take the feet so that they're about mat width apart, and then just allow the knees to fall in together in the centre so they're just resting against one another. Bringing the hands to the side with the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Nice and relaxed through the shoulders. Just closing the eyes off for a moment. And just take a nice deep breath in through the nose. And a full breath out the mouth. And again, big breath in through the nose. Full breath out the mouth. One more time, big breath in. And a full breath out. And then just allow your breath to find its natural rhythm here. So, not forcing anything on the breath, just naturally breathing in and out. Just taking a couple of moments just to allow the body to settle. Just drawing that focus in slightly. Just observing any sensations that might arise in the body here. Just notice those points where the body meets the floor. So the soles of the feet, the back of the hips, the bum, the shoulders, the backs of the wrists, the head. And just see if you can find that grounding sensation here as we just focus on that contact to the floor. Fully supported by the earth here. And then just blinking the eyes open, we're just going to bring the arms to the side, separate the knees so they're coming up towards the ceiling, and we're just going to gently windscreen wiper the knees from side to side. So just really nice and easy to start off with, just loosening gently into the lower back, into the hips. Just keeping that breath nice and smooth and steady. Lovely, one more each side. And then bringing the knees up to the centre and just draw the knees into the chest, wrap the hands around the shin. Just find a nice little rock and roll from side to side here. So just feel like we're massaging a little bit into that lower back. And then we're going to take hold just of the right leg, so hands around the right shin, and just extend your left leg nice and long. And then we're just going to find a little rocking here into the hip, so just taking it from side to side. Nice and easy. And then we're going to take the leg up towards the ceiling. You can bend that bottom leg if it feels more comfortable to do so. We're just going to bring the hands onto the back of the thigh. And we're just going to try and release a little bit down the back of the leg. So all we're going to do is just point the toes up towards the ceiling and then bring the toes in towards the shin. So as you bring the toes in towards the shin, we're just pushing through that heel, hopefully feeling that lengthening sensation through the back of the leg. Nice and relaxed through the shoulders and the neck. Lovely, one more here. Here, and then we're going to come into half happy baby, so it might feel better to bend that bottom leg in. So we're going to bring this knee down, taking a hold of the outside of the foot, inside of the foot, or the ankle if that's more comfortable for you, and just finding any movement that feels good here. So it might be nice just to rock from side to side again, maybe you want to kind of bend and straighten into the leg a little bit, just whatever feels nice here. Just trying to gently release into that hip socket. Lovely, and then bringing that foot down. And then we're going to go the other side, so taking the knee into the chest, lengthen the leg out. And just gently rocking that knee from side to side. Nice and easy into that hip joint. And then taking that leg up to the ceiling. Again, you might feel that it's more comfortable to bend that bottom leg, feel free to do so. And we're just going to flex and point those toes. Pushing the heel up towards the ceiling and just bring the toes in towards the shin. So just feeling that nice release down the back of the leg. And then from here we're going to take our half happy baby. So again, grabbing the outside, inside, or the ankle or the calf, and finding any movement here which feels good. So just really exploring the sensations into the hips, into the back of the leg. Just getting a little bit of mobility through the knee joint here as well. And then just releasing down. Taking a nice full body stretch here, so stretch those legs out nice and long, float the arms up overhead, stretch through the fingertips, maybe point through the toes, just allowing that lower back just to arch away from the ground a little bit. And you can just have a little shuffle here through the shoulders and the hips. Lovely. Then one by one, draw the knees in towards the chest. We're going to bring the hands onto the back of the thighs now, and we're just going to rock up and down the mat a few times. So big rock or little rock, this is super nice for the spine. And eventually making your way all the way up into a seated position. So just finding a nice easy cross-legged pose here. We're going to bring your hand down to the side, pressing the palm into the floor, and the other arm is going to come up and over for a nice side body stretch here. So try and keep the sit bone rooted to the mat, but see if you can lift out of the hips, so we're lengthening through the side body. Nice big stretch through those fingertips. Take a nice big breath in. And a full breath out. And then from here we're going to bring this out to the side, so we're almost making a diagonal down from the one fingertips to the other. And then we're just going to pull the arm back. So we're just opening a little bit through that heart space. And then we're going to bring the arm across the body down towards the other hand. So maybe looking down towards the ground here as well. So inhale as we open, gaze can follow the fingertips. Exhale as we pull across the body. So just feeling this in the upper back. So we're just finding a little bit of mobility through the thoracic spine here. Lovely, last one. And bring it back over. Lovely. Then we're going to come up, bring the hands through the centre. So your left hand over the top of the right. We're going to form a little cross here. So back to the hands together, or perhaps we can wrap them all the way around. We come into eagle arms here. We're going to bring those elbows up towards the chin, and then from here make some little circles. So we start to draw circles. As we come down, maybe just bring those elbows a little bit in towards the belly, and then lift it all the way up. Nice and smooth with that breath. So get into the shoulders a little bit here as well. And then gently reverse the direction. Lovely. Then bringing those arms through the centre. Just drawing the elbows up towards chin height, pressing the fingertips up towards the ceiling, maybe send the gaze upwards a little bit as well. See if you can find some length through the spine here. And then releasing those arms and bring the fingertips out in front. And we're just going to kind of snake our way down towards the ground here. So just a little shuffle from side to side through those hips. Start to draw the shoulders down a little bit, and the head comes down towards the ground. Until you get to that point where you feel you've come as far as you can. And then just find a place of stillness. Maybe just stretch those fingertips out in front. Take a nice deep breath in. And a full breath out. And then walking those hands in, and then we're going to come over to the opposite side. So planting the hand down towards the ground, lifting out of those hips, big reach up and over. So really opening up through the side body. And then we're going to bring that hand out into that diagonal, nice big inhale as we open. Exhale as we bring the hand across. Inhale open. Exhale across. And again, inhale open. Exhale across. Lovely. Then we're going to come up and we're going to bring your right hand over the top of the left, find that cross, wrap the hands around if you can, lift the elbows up towards the ceiling, and we're going to find some circles here. Nice big circular motion, just work it into the other side. Keep that breath nice and smooth and steady. And then coming in the opposite direction. And then bring the elbows up through centre, fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then just releasing the hands down onto the knees this time. And we're going to take a little bit of a soupy grind here, so getting into those hips a little bit. We're going to lean forward over one of the knees, leading through the chest. And then come through the other side. And then round through the spine a little bit as you pull back. Inhale as you come forwards. Exhale as you round backwards. Lovely, and then just pausing through centre, and we're going to come in the opposite direction. So get into the hips, get into the lower back. Just finding that little bit of mobility here. Lovely. And then from here, we're going to come over into tabletop position. So as you come into tabletop, just join those hands underneath the shoulders and knees underneath the hips. And we're going to take some rib rolls here. So we're going to pull those ribs up towards the ceiling, slide them across to one side, drop them down as far as you can, slide them across to the side, and then pick them back up. And then see if you can make a nice circular motion with that. So we're trying to get into the far ends of the range of movement with this. So coming up as high as you can, moving to the side as far as you can, and dropping them down as far as you can. Good. Next time you come through the middle, just pause. And then we're going to send it in the opposite direction. Nice, lovely movement to the side here. Just feeling into those sensations inside. And then just come to rest in the centre. Going into your more traditional linear cat-cow now. So tailbone goes up towards the ceiling. We're dropping the belly, lifting the head into the chest. Shoulders away from the ears. And then tucking the chin. Round through the spine, pressing through the hands. Inhale as you come down, lift the head. Exhale as you find that rounded. And again, inhale. And exhale. Coming back into that neutral position, and we're going to extend your right leg out behind, toes to the floor, and then just slide it all the way across. So we're coming across the back. And then we're just going to look over the shoulder towards the foot, just bumping those hips across slightly. So finding a nice little sideways C shape through the spine. I'm going to slide those toes all the way back across, and we're going to lift that leg so that it becomes parallel to the floor. Then we're going to extend your opposite arm out, reaching through the fingertips. Inhale here. Exhale as we take knee to elbow through the centre. Inhale, extend, nice full extension. Exhale, crunch in. And again, inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch in. Good. And then return into that tabletop position. And then we're going to go on the opposite side. So taking your left leg out now. Slide the toes all the way across as far as you can. And then just looking out that shoulder round towards the toes. And then sliding those toes across, we're going to extend the opposite arm out in front, big reach through the fingertips, lifting the leg off the ground. Inhale here, exhale, knee to elbow through the centre. Inhale to extend, exhale, crunch in. And again, inhale, extend, exhale, crunch in. And then returning the hand and the knee back to the ground. From here, we're going to come into child's pose. So take those knees a little bit wider, big toes together, send the hips over the heels. Stretch the arms out in front and just drop the forehead down to the earth. Just taking a couple of nice deep breaths here, so really feel as if we can breathe into that upper back body, just allowing that natural relaxation in through the hips. Lovely, and then coming back up into tabletop. Tucking the toes, and from here we're going to come into downward facing dog. So nice and long through the spine, we can have those knees bent a little bit, especially if we're just getting warm. And then just start to pedal those feet out, so bending one leg and straightening the other. Feeling into the knees and the hips here. And then we're going to take that walk, little baby steps as you come to the front of the mat. And we come to Uttanasana, forward fold. So from this position here, we're going to bring your right hand down towards the floor. And we're going to bend the right leg and straighten the left leg as much as you can. And then keeping your right hand to the floor, we're going to take the left hand up to the ceiling for a nice twist. You might feel this into the outer edge of the hip a little bit. Good. Nice big breath here. And then come to the ground, and then we're going to go the opposite side. So bend your left leg, straighten the right leg, and then take your right hand up to the ceiling. Good, and then just release them down. So we're going to bring the hands to the elbows and just take a little sway from side to side here. Nice soft bend through the knees. And allow the arms to dangle. On the next breath in, we come into a half lift. So nice and long through the spine, pull the shoulders away from the ears. And then soften through the knees and fold. Bend to the knees, plant the palms, and we're going to step the right foot all the way back. Dropping that back knee down, and just coming onto the fingertips a little bit here. So we're just going to get into those hips a little bit, so just dropping the hips forwards. And then we're going to pull back into Ardha Hanumanasana. So lifting those toes, lifting out through the back of the leg. And then just rocking forwards. And again, we're just going to pull back. We'll do that one more time, rocking forwards. Good, and pull back. Nice. So then we rock forwards, plant the palms, lift that back knee, and we're going to push off and step forwards as we come back into our forward fold. Inhaling as we come into half lift. Exhale as we fold. Plant the palms, bend the knees, and we're going to go other side. So tapping your other leg back and drop that back knee down. Onto the fingertips. Inhale as you push those hips down and forwards. And then we're lengthening out through that leg, lifting the toes. Doesn't have to be fully straight, we're just trying to get into the back of the leg and make a little bit of space. Good, one more time, rocking forwards. And pulling back. Good, okay, this time as we rock forwards, we're going to plant the palms and we're going to come back into our tabletop. Then I'm just going to walk those knees back a little bit and I'm going to lower all the way down onto my belly. So untucking the toes, legs are nice and long. Hands just come by the side of the ribs, but we're going to come on to the tented fingertips here. Inhale as we roll up for a nice cobra. Exhale as we release it back down. And again, inhale, roll up. Exhale down. So the idea on the fingertips is that we're not pressing too much into the hands, we're just engaging those lower back muscles to help us lift. Lovely, and release. And then we're going to slide those hands so that the elbows come underneath the shoulders, palms are flat, forearms are parallel. And just see if you can really find some extension here. So pulling the shoulders away from the ears, lengthen out through the toes, lifting up through the crown of the head, nice supported position for the lower back. Take a little look over your left shoulder. And then come through centre. And take a little look over your right shoulder. Good, and then coming back through centre. Lowering back down. Slide the hands by the side of the ribs and push back up into tabletop. So keeping the hips above the knees, so we're not moving those, we're just going to walk the hands out a little bit in front and come into poppy pose or melting heart pose. So we're dropping that chest down towards the floor, leading with the chin if that's possible, if not just rest the forehead. If you can keep the forearms off the floor, great. If you need to drop them down for some support, do so. So really getting into the shoulders and lengthening out through the spine here. Lovely, then just walking those hands in, and then from here we're going to come down onto our back. So your figure 4 stretch here, super nice to get into those glutes. So we're going to cross the foot over the thigh, knee comes out to the side. So we want that knee to come out to the side first, and then we're going to pick the leg up and bring the hands around the back here. But we want to be nice and relaxed through the shoulders still, and then just rolling around, find some movement here until you maybe find a little tight area, and then just hang out there for a bit. Take some nice deep breaths, see if you can breathe into the tight spots a little bit. Lovely, and then releasing down, and we're going to change sides. Just making sure that knee comes out to the side first before you pick up. Hands around the back of the thigh, and again, just finding some movement. So it might be that one side feels a little bit tighter than the other. Lovely, and release. Okay, both legs up towards the ceiling now. As long as you can move through the backs of the legs, hands onto the back of the thighs, toes in towards the shin, push the heels up towards the ceiling, and just see if you can draw those legs in a little bit closer, with a really nice stretch through the back of the hamstrings, all the way down the legs. And then from here we're going to come into happy baby. So bending those knees, take them a little bit wider than body width, grabbing a hold of those feet, and just find some movement here, anything that feels good. Lovely, and then just releasing down to the ground. We're going to plant the feet, have the knees bent. Arms are going to come out to the side now. Just take those feet so they're slightly wider, again about mat width apart. And we're going to rock the knees over to the side and come into a nice stretch here for the spine. You can stay there, or you can pick that bottom leg up and just put it on the outside of the knee or the thigh just to intensify the stretch. And then maybe just turning the head in the opposite direction to the knees. Just taking a couple of nice deep breaths here. Good, and if that foot is crossed, just slowly release. Take those knees up and over to the other side. And again, picking that foot up if you want to intensify that stretch. It might feel too much, in which case, just leave it where it is. Lovely, and then from here we're just going to take both knees into the chest, wrap the hands around the shin, have another little rock and roll here, massage that lower back into the mat. And then releasing the legs, send them nice and long, floating those arms up overhead. Taking a nice full body stretch here, again allowing that lower back just to arch away from the mat if that feels nice. And then releasing the hands down by the side of the body as we come into Shavasana. So just letting those ankles rock out to the side, body's nice and relaxed and heavy into the earth. Close the eyes off and take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Obviously you can stay here as long as you wish. And if you're ready to come up, just giving those toes a little bit of a wiggle. Hands a little bit of a wiggle, and then just one by one taking those knees into the chest and just rocking your way back up into your comfortable seat. So hopefully you'll feel a little bit more loose across the lower back now.